Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. So today I'm going to be talking about none other than Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII. Now I don't have any footage of Dirge of Cerberus, unfortunately. Sorry guys, pictures are going to have to do, so you're just going to have to stick with me. So without further ado, let's get into this character. So the reason why I'm talking about Vincent Valentine is I wanted to do this video a long time ago, to be honest. And the reason for that is Vincent is one of my favourite characters in Final Fantasy VII. And the reason for that is me playing Final Fantasy VII way back in the day. I remember I missed him the first time round. I didn't have a guide or anything, and I missed Yuffie as well. Didn't have a foggiest idea of how to get him. But when I did my second playthrough, thanks to my friend Jamie, he had a walkthrough and he said, listen, I know how to get Vincent Valentine. And he made me aware. I didn't even know these two characters existed the first time I played the game. I was young, I was 13 years old. So yeah, I missed Vincent Valentine. So the second time when I played the game, Final Fantasy VII, I managed to get Vincent Valentine. And straight away, I used him in every battle. Even though he wasn't the best characters to use in battle because of his chaos abilities and stuff, that kind of like hindered his battle experience for myself, because you couldn't control him once you went into berserk mode and stuff like that. But anyway, that's another video for another day when I get in depth and talk about the actual gameplay of Final Fantasy VII, which is in the making. Back to Vincent Valentine. So Vincent Valentine has a very dark past. He lays sleeping in a coffin when you go to find him the first time, and he doesn't want to join your team. He eventually does join the team, which is awesome. There's a couple of things that you need to do in the game that make him join your team. And I think once he joins the team, once he joined my team, I straight away put him in my team. I liked that he had a dark past. I didn't know who this mysterious character was. I loved his character design, it was epic. The red cloak, he looks frail and looks weak. But once you get to learn his battle abilities, you'll soon realize that he is no frail being. He is a beast of a character, and he's just epic. There's a lot of things about Vincent Valentine that actually tie up the story of Final Fantasy VII as well, because Vincent Valentine brings in other characters. For example, Hojo. He has a big connection with Hojo because Hojo did a lot of experiments with Vincent, and that's why Vincent is the way he is. He also did some stuff to Lucrezia, who is Vincent's love in the game. And also, when he meets Hojo at this particular point, I gotta let you guys know, sorry, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers in this, so if you don't know, please turn away. So when he does have a conversation with Hojo at some point in the game, correct me if I'm wrong because it has been a while since I played the game, but Hojo insinuates that Sephiroth is his son. And that kind of like enrages Vincent, because he realizes that, what? You've experimented on me? That was bad enough. Now you're talking about experimenting with Lucrezia and Sephiroth? This guy's insane. So Hojo is a mad scientist who is the father of Sephiroth, and he did actually experiment on Sephiroth as well. So I just want to talk a little bit more about Dirge of Cerberus and where that is in the timeline. So I believe the game is set 3 years after the main events of the original game of Final Fantasy VII, and it obviously focuses on Vincent Valentine. Now, what makes sense now that didn't make sense back then is when you complete Final Fantasy VII, the original game, Vincent and Yuffie are not there. It's because they actually come back to protect the people in Midgar. Well, that's what they say, so I don't really know if that's canon or not, but that's what they're saying. So in the story of Dirge of Cerberus, Vincent is targeted by Deep Ground. They're a mysterious organization that plans to awaken a creature known as Omega, with the ability to destroy the whole planet. There's a secret ending in the game that can be obtainable if you get all the G reports. Now once you get all the G reports, it unlocks this ending, and in this ending, Genesis from Crisis Core, yes that's right guys, Genesis from Crisis Core finds Weiss's body and tells him not to slumber as they have work to do, and then Genesis flies off and is never mentioned again. Another major cliffhanger that really needs to be resolved and told in a separate story, because Dirge of Cerberus, to me, they really need to remake it and then make part 2 as well, together in conjunction with each other, because they can't leave us hanging. They can't just give us Dirge of Cerberus and then leave it there and then move on and do something else, because it's just going to leave us in the same spot. If they're going to make Dirge of Cerberus, if you're listening, Square, you need to make the second part to Dirge of Cerberus as well. We need to know what happens to Weiss and what happens to Genesis as well. Weiss, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Forgive me for butchering his name. A lot of people actually disliked Dirge of Cerberus, but to me, honestly, I loved it. Certainly added a lot more lore and context to the world of Final Fantasy VII, and not just that, to Deep Ground Soldier, to Hojo, to Vincent Valentine, and the continuation of the actual story. Now, you got to remember, even though all of this stuff is happening to Vincent Valentine, you can imagine once this is actually done and resolved, the whole rest of the team actually come at the end of Dirge of Cerberus. So you get to see Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, everybody comes to actually help Vincent do his final mission, and that's actually taking care of Omega. Anyway, I just want to touch upon Lucrezia and her character and what's going on with her. So basically, Lucrezia is encased in like a crystal for feeling guilty for Vincent's death and also his transformation, and for bearing the sin of having given birth to Sephiroth. So she feels like she owes Vincent something or something. She's not dead, she's actually alive, and she's in this crystal form. They really need to let us know what's actually going on there, why she's still alive, and will Vincent get the love of his life back? Because she's there, he talks to her, he has a little conversation with her, a couple of lines, and then it just moves on, and again, nothing said or heard of her again. They really need to tie that up. I really want to know what actually happens, because again, like I said, it's left in a major cliffhanger. Like, there's a lot of story to be told about Vincent Valentine, especially with his love interest, and they just left it there, left Genesis there, left Weiss there, and they've gone back. I get it, they really needed to make Final Fantasy VII as a remake, and I know they've kind of gone down a different route, but that again is another video for another day. But with Dirge of Cerberus, they really need to remake it. I know they're doing it in Ever Crisis mobile form, but we really need a proper one-on-one remake for Dirge of Cerberus. It needs that high definition 4K glory that it deserves, and also we want the second part to the game. We want to know what actually happens with Vincent. To be honest with you, Vincent is one of the main characters in the game because he's immortal, and so is Red 13. Did you know that Red 13 and Vincent Valentine kept a promise to each other that they'll actually meet once a year at this certain point? And there's a scene where Red 13 and his cubs are running up the mountain, and you can see Midgar, and it's got all this kind of like moss all over it because hundreds of years have passed. And it's a promise that they kept to each other because they're the only two characters that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that have immortality. I mean, I think Sephiroth might have one in Genova, but I mean, just in the main team, Vincent and Red 13 are actually mortal characters. I'm going to make another video on Red 13 because he's another mysterious character that they could make another game of. Honestly, they could really make another game of Red 13, I'm telling you. And I wish they would, because Red 13 is a very interesting character as well. Again, immortal, so it'd be nice to know what happens. And obviously, like, being immortal, it's a bit sad because being immortal and knowing that you're going to lose all the people that mean something to you, because the whole team, Cloud and gang, really clicked together and they became really good friends. I mean, look at the epic scene when Aerith dies and how sad that was. That was traumatic for me when I was a kid, when I was playing Final Fantasy VII. I still remember till this day how much that actually hurt me every time I'd replay the game. Even till this day, if I was to replay it, it still got that shock factor to it where Aerith is dead. Someone that you had that close connection with because she's one of the first people that you meet, and then she dies. It'd be so cool to know, don't you think, how each of the characters passed and how Vincent Valentine and Red 13 still have this connection and this friendship going forever. It'd be awesome. But anyway, I've said enough, guys. You know, let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Dirge of Cerberus getting another part? And what do you think about Vincent Valentine as a character? I'd really like to know in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you who do actually follow my channel do like Vincent a lot, and I know a lot of you don't. So it'd be cool to know, you know, what your thoughts are and stuff. But to me, honestly, I can't wait to actually see a second part to Dirge of Cerberus and actually know how each and every character perishes and the continuation. I mean, they even say that Final Fantasy X has a connection to Final Fantasy VII, that apparently it's meant to be the same world or the same universe. So, you know, who knows? And there's some, there's some caveats there, there's some Easter eggs there where there's a character called Shinra and he wears this weird mask. And I'm sure in Final Fantasy VII, the remake, if you go into the Shinra building, you can actually see that character in a picture. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Stay safe and peace.